Hello there guys, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Hunters Hunter concept. With the Book of Boba Fett featuring Tusken Raiders quite prominently, I thought it would be really cool to see a Tusken Raider come to Star Wars Hunters. In this concept, I'll firstly go over some background story for this Tusken Raider, then I'll move on to the abilities that I think they should have, and to wrap it up I'll end with some potential skins for the character. It is worth adding that when I reach the skins part there will be some spoilers for the Book of Boba Fett, so if you don't want to see any spoilers then you'll be able to watch the video up until that point, and I will remind you when I get there as well, just in case you forget. But despite there being some spoilers in this video, please keep spoilers out of the comments as there may be people who haven't watched the show yet and want to comment. Starting with the backstory then, I thought it would be a really interesting idea if this Tusken raided a small settlement with fellow Tuskens. This small settlement is on their land and being used for no good by the Pikes, so they want to seize control and drive them away. During the skirmish, the Pikes hop into their starship, with this particular Tusken following them on, only to then get trapped on board as it leaves the planet. The Tusken puts up a fight but is temporarily captured, at which point they enter hyperspace. They manage to escape however due to there not being any kind of detainment centre on board the ship, and the Tusken ultimately takes down all the Pikes. As the Tusken has no idea what's going on with regards to flying a ship, they frantically press buttons and hit the console with a GAFFI stick in a fit of rage, which prematurely pulls the ship out of hyperspace, which then ultimately causes it to crash land on Vespara, the planet in Star Wars Hunters where the Tusken then becomes a hunter in the arena. Before moving on to the abilities, it's worth adding that the Tusken would be a damage class character, and their weapons would be a GAFFI stick and a cycler rifle, as they're the two traditional weapons of a Tusken Raider. This leads me perfectly onto the first ability, and that is simply to be able to change weapons. Utuni has the same kind of ability that allows him to change from his CA-87 and the Arc Caster, so this is just like that but with a melee weapon and a ranged weapon. The GAFFI stick is obviously a melee weapon, so it has to be used up close and deals medium damage. With the cycler rifle being a much longer range weapon, it would deal higher damage, but it has a fairly big recoil and requires a reload. I feel like that's fair for the cycler rifle given that it's essentially a sniper, or you could have it like Battlefront 2 where it has a much higher rate of fire and doesn't require a reload or cooldown for quite some time. Hunters doesn't have blaster cooldowns or reloads yet, so perhaps this Tusken cycler rifle wouldn't either. As for the second ability, this would be a charged shot with the cycler rifle. There really isn't much else to say about it other than that, and even if you have the GAFFI stick out, using the ability will then cause you to swap weapons and take the shot instead. This would of course deal higher damage than a normal shot with the cycler rifle, as it takes longer for the shot to be taken due to the charging process, but with this though you would have to be very careful with where and when you use it, as you don't want to be exposed to an enemy attack. The next ability could be a Tusken Roar. I don't really know what it's actually called, but when they raise their weapons and make that noise when they get annoyed, that's essentially what would happen here, and it would give you a damage reduction and a speed boost for a short amount of time. Lastly, we have the ultimate. This time it's an ability with the GAFFI stick where you chain a combo of melee attacks together and end with a big slam on the ground, dealing damage and knocking back enemies close by. I think this would be really cool as it's a chance to show the true fighting style of the Tusken Raiders. Finally, we have the skins. Just a reminder that this will go into spoiler territory for the Book of Boba Fett, so if you don't want anything spoiled for you then be sure to click off the video now. As with all these concepts, skins can sometimes be quite difficult to do. The default appearance for the Tusken could be a new kind of design so that it's actually unique, but then you could have a skin where the outfit is this typical looking Tusken Raider that we've seen countless times throughout Star Wars before. The Book of Boba Fett introduces quite a lot of interesting new designs to Tusken Raiders though, including different colour clothing, different looking headpieces and even headgear as well. So what would be really cool is if there were a bunch of skins inspired by these Tuskens from the show. Of course I'd love to see even more unique skins as well, but it would of course be cool to see inspiration from current content. So guys, that is it for my Tusken Raider concept. Be sure to let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so that you can keep up to date with all things Star Wars Hunters. That is it from me today though guys, thank you all very much for watching and may the force be with you always.